2, yes, speaker, the microphone's on. All right, we will pause for a moment. 1, 2.
What's this?
Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3, Ken. Testing 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Test. Testing 1, 2, 3.
Is everybody good with this stuff? Because I don't know what to tell
We
you.
have at least 2 engineers in the room.
So maybe you should go back in, see if it.
Thanks.
Is that okay? Do you want to hear it?
It is so this is the resort. It's right here. And then maybe this was, have you heard yourself?
They check the audio.
Testing. Test.
Check.
Check. Test.
I still don't hear.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you, yes, but I think someone's talking very loud. I'm not hearing it through here. I'm not. Well, maybe we'll just have to take notes.
Yeah, the old fashioned way. Okay.
All right, so not a lot of talking.
All right, do the one.
Can you wait 1 more minute? I'll turn everything off, you know, like.
Do one reboot, and then if that doesn't work, we'll start up. Take notes.
Okay, all right, can you just give me 1 minute? Sorry about this, guys.
Could it be just the headset that's not working?
I heard it this afternoon, so.
No, because it's into the computer. The whole time it's gonna be very smooth.
We'll start up in a minute, there, give me a second. Okay, I hereby call to order this regular meeting of the Morris Plains Board of Adjustment on November 24th, 2025. Before we rise to the Pledge of Allegiance, I'll note that there's an audio system problem here in council chambers. I am at the text advice of Borough Attorney Sullivan, recording this on my iPhone. I see a member of the public is here, and that may be available as well. That is a backup. And we will take notes by the recording secretary, board secretary, and make that available. All please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I hereby announce that this meeting is being held in accordance with Chapter 231 of the Open Public Meetings Act. Proper notice of meeting dates have been given to the Morris Newsbeat and the Morris County Daily Record and posted on the bulletin board in Borough Hall. This meeting is a judicial proceeding. Any questions or comments must be limited to issues that are relevant to what the board may legally consider in reaching a decision, and a quorum appropriate to judicial hearing must be maintained at all times. Karen, roll call, please.
Mr. Baza?
Here.
Mrs. Cortez?
Here.
Mr. Ethan?
Here.
Mr. Carr? Mr. McCabe?
Here.
Mr. Webster?
Here.
Mr. Schultz?
Here.
Mr. Rizos?
Here.
And Mr. Cianciano.
Here.
And for the record, Mr. Sullivan, board attorney, isn't here. Elizabeth Laney, borough planner, isn't here. But Mr. William Ryden, borough engineer, is present.
Okay, thank you. All right, special announcements of the chair. Welcome back after a 4-month hiatus. We've had nothing on the agenda for the summer and the fall. Welcome back just in time for Thanksgiving. A note, the January reorganization meeting is coming fast. As I said earlier in the year, after 20 some odd years, I'm looking to wind down my tenure, and next year I would like to not be chair. Mr. McCabe definitely has an interest. I would be vice chair if needed, or if somebody else wants to step up. Give it some thoughts, ask any questions, November and December, and January we have our reorg meeting. The next item on the agenda is approval of the meeting minutes from our last meeting. Are there any corrections to the meeting minutes of the June 23rd?
Yes, Chairman, I do. Unless you want to tell Mr. McCabe?
Let's go board members first. Any corrections from board members?
No, just what we have.
Right, on page 266.
Page
Mr. McCabe
266.
brought to my attention, okay? If the revised application process, it's Mr. Wright, Mr. Cavaglia, Mr. Houston, and myself, and I put in that Mr. Schultz, in brackets, chairman of the Board of Adjustment, so everybody knows who myself is, okay?
Got it. Thank you. Any other corrections? Is there a motion to approve as corrected?
Motion.
Mr. McCabe, second.
Second.
Mr. Rizos.
Who seconded?
Mr. Rizos, Mr. McCabe on the motion, Mr. Rizos on the second. Voice vote, all in favor?
Aye.
Nays, abstentions? Meeting minutes are approved. This part of the meeting is to hear comments from members of the public on matters other than those items on tonight's agenda. Are there any members of the public who wish to make comments? Seeing none, we'll close that portion of the meeting. And the first application for this evening's meeting is application BA 425, Jamie and Jennifer Dorish, 23 Cutler Road, Block 56, Lot 13. The application is being reviewed for completeness only tonight. There will be no testimony heard. I see the attorney for the applicant present. Mr. Caputo, if you could please come forward and place your appearance on the record. Make yourself at home on that middle table there.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Remo Caputo, attorney for Mr. and Mrs. Durish. My office is in 1 Broadway, Denton, New Jersey. We would like to address a couple of the issues on here, and to do that, I would ask Mr. Anderson, Paul Anderson, because he's the engineer, and he can address these issues a little better.
All right, so for the record, Paul Anderson, the engineer, is approaching the microphone. We're not going to swear, actually,
We're just gonna
yeah, this
ask,
is not testimony tonight, so just for the record, if your engineer could put his appearance on the record.
Good evening, Paul Anderson, licensed engineer and planner, Anderson Consulting Services, 40 Miller Drive, Newton Township, New Jersey.
All right, and from a format perspective, what I'd like to do is have Mr. Ryan lead this and kind of go down the completeness report, and then we can have an item-by-item review.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chairman. You and the other board members should receive my November 19th, 2025 report, completeness report on this application. I noted in the report, with regard to checklist F, I noted 14 items, 6 of which are requested waivers, 8 of which are just straight out incomplete or missing items. So would you like me to go through the specific ones? Okay, so
Please.
the incomplete or missing items are checklist item 8, which is the certification from the tax collector, item 24D, elevations and building materials are not shown, item 24E, elevations of the corners of the buildings and property corners are not provided, item 24F, photographs of each residence along the entire street within 200 feet of the property have not been provided. Item 24G, lot areas and maximum depth of lot areas, measurements within 500 feet have not been provided. And item 24G2, within 500 feet, approximate dimensions of existing rear, front, side yard setbacks has not been provided. Item 24G3, within 500 feet, approximate building coverage and approximate total building floor areas of all floors not provided. Item 24G4, within 500 feet, principal building height and storage not provided. So those are the missing items which I had reported here that this application would be administratively incomplete due to that. The 6 waivers that are requested are item 15, to provide information on previous applications. I recommended that waiver be granted. The next waiver was item 25, flood hazard areas. I recommended that be granted. Item 26, freshwater wetlands, same, recommended that waiver. Item 28, specific facts to justify the variance, I recommended that waiver. And item 29, sorry, there's 2 more. Item 29, steep slope maps, waiver requested, and I recommend that one as well. And finally, item 30, riparian zones, waiver requested, and I recommend that be approved. That's my report, Mr. Chairman.
So I see 7 waivers requested.
I see. I thought it was 6.
Oh, 6, sorry, one on 2 lines, I underlined 2 lines. 6 waivers requested. Mr. Caputo, are you adding any waiver requests?
we are going to, but I would tell it that on item number 8, certificate of tax collector, we did provide that to Karen, she has it, right? You have that?
Yes, and I sent it to everyone, everybody has a hard copy in front of them, and also I emailed it to everyone, even the professionals. That came after Mr. Wright's report.
Right. So that one has been taken care of. The
Bless you.
Bless you.
Thank
Somebody can say something?
That was a sneeze.
Oh,
Go ahead.
God bless you. All right, Mr. Anderson, you were gonna address,
All right, so let's start with, we have a 500-foot map, it's the second sheet in our set. And I believe on that map, even though it is as an area line that obscures some things, you will see the lot area on each lot. And that is 24G number 1. So I believe that's already there. And then on the following one, within 500 feet, dimensions of the existing front, rear, and side yard. Those are also listed on all the lots on that map. So I believe that's already there. We get to 24G number 3. You talk about building coverage and approximate total building floor area. I would suggest we ask for a waiver for the second portion of that coverage. In that we are looking for relief on building coverage, not floor area ratio or anything like that. I think it's relevant, the first part of it is relevant. It's also an estimate, you know, from an area survey, so I don't really have the ability to know what's usable area in everybody's second floor. I just kind of give them a rough comparison. So, Mr. Chairman, I would, suggest we're going to ask for a waiver for half of that. We would provide the building coverage, but not the floor area on all floors.
on the next one, we want building height.
Building heights, in terms of just the number of stories, is, we will provide.
You can provide the number of stories, but not building height, or building height not all in stories.
Building height in stories, not in feet.
So that's, we're going to or not?
We will do it in stories, not in feet. Doing it in feet would be very difficult to do. You'd have to go out and survey everyone.
Okay, but this is only asking for in stories, so we can.
That's correct.
We don't need a waiver for it.
No, we will provide that.
Okay. So the waiver, so what you're saying, we asked Mr. Wright if he would verify that 24G1 and 24G2 are in fact on the plans.
Not that I can see,
All right, so let's, have a seat, if you would, Mr. Anderson. So let's go over this one by one. Let's take the waivers that are requested. I see 6 waivers that were requested and recommended in the written report. I hear a waiver requested at this meeting, 24G3, within 500 feet, the requirement for approximate total principal building floor area of all floors. That is a waiver added verbally.
Correct.
Correct.
Mr. Ryden, would you recommend that waiver to the board, or disagree with the request?
yes, I would.
All right, so we now have 7 waivers requested. Are there any questions from board members on the waivers requested and recommended by Mr. Ryden? And I'll note for the record that these aren't uncommon in our residential applications. So I saw board members shaking their head no, there are no questions. So let's set that aside for a moment. On item 8, it sounds like the certification from tax collector was provided after this memo, and we have it in front of us. So that's a non-issue. 24E and F, will they be provided?
24.
That's elevations at corners? and
Yes.
Color photographs.
Yes.
All right, so no need to talk about that if we're gonna see that at the next submission. I'm sorry, I meant to say 24D, E, and F. That's building materials, elevations, and colored photographs.
Correct.
All right, we'll see all 3 at the next submission.
Yeah, we call it.
Yes. You will see all 3 in the next submission.
Okay. I hear that for 24G1 and 24G2, that there's no waiver requested. The borough engineer doesn't see them on the plan. So what I would say is that by December 5th, the 10-day cutoff, you can reach out to the engineer directly, either highlight them to his satisfaction, or if they're not there, maybe the printer screwed up, right, they'll be there, okay?
So what are we gonna do? Were you gonna flag them or what?
If they're there,
I'll just clarify where they are with Bill, and show them, and maybe he can't see it because it's obscured on the plan or something. Make sure he sees where they are, and make it clear.
and then I also hear on the
Where it is.
on the first half of 24G3, for the next submission, we will see that, within 500 feet approximate building coverage.
Correct. Correct.
So, this seems to be pretty straightforward. Are there any questions from board members on anything we reviewed for completeness and waivers?
20, did I miss 24?
They will comply with 24D, 24E, and 24F by the next submission. So would there be a motion to approve the 7 waivers requested, 6 in writing, and the 1 we reviewed tonight asked for verbally, and deem the application incomplete, but approve the waivers requested?
Right, we're going to approve the waivers, deem it incomplete pending all the other information.
Oh, it's just, right, it's incomplete, period, and then, yeah.
So moved.
All right, Mr. Rizos makes the motion, Ms. Cortez makes the second.
Ethan makes that. Saji.
Oh, sorry. Mr. Ethan made the motion, Ms. Cortez made the second. Karen, roll call, please.
Okay, Mr. Baza,
Yes.
Mrs. Cortez,
Yes.
Mr. Ethan,
Yes.
Mr. McCabe,
Yes.
Mr. Webster,
Yes.
Mr. Schultz,
Yes.
and Mr. Rizzo.
Yes.
I have Mr. Ethan, I did not get who was it, your attention, thank you.
Lisa. All right, so what I see is very few items left to pick up. Maybe a phone call to our engineer. It's an early month in December, so all resubmittals and additional information must be received by the board secretary no later than December 5th in order to be considered at the December regular meeting, and the anticipated agenda at the December meeting would allow for completeness and testimony if you so desire and notice appropriate.
Okay, so we can notice for the December 5th meeting?
No, it's the next meeting is December 15th. Right, documents have to be to the board secretary by the 5th.
Okay, so I could notice for the December 5th, and if by some reason we're not being complete, we just carry it to, so I can notice, daily record still is,
Daily record of the newspaper.
okay,
If you notice properly and for some reason you're not complete, you can ask at the next hearing to be carried, and
correct, thank you.
the board has never said no to that.
That's what I was asking, thank you.
All right, for the record, the application's been deemed incomplete. The waivers requested and recommended by Mr. Ryan have been approved. We will pause for a moment, and then we have a recusal for the next case. So Mr. Webster is going to step away from the dais. We will wish him great Thanksgiving.
You all too? Appreciate it.
Just pause until he clears the room. Take care, Bob.
I'm gonna try, we're gonna try again to see if this will work.
We're good, we're halfway done, we're recording, we're being recorded. All right, the next application, let the record show that Mr. Webster has stepped out of the room. The next application for this evening's meeting is application BA 325, Jersey Central Power and Light, 115 Table Road, block 151, lot 2.02. The application is being reviewed for completeness business only tonight, there will be no testimony heard. Is an attorney for the applicant present?
Yes,
Can you please come forward, make yourself known at that table, and put your appearance on the record, please?
thank you. Russell Anderson, Bertone Pacini, Hasbrook Heights, on behalf of the applicant, Jersey Central Power and Light Company.
Okay, do you have a business card you can leave with the board secretary before you leave tonight?
Of course.
Great, thank you. All right, what I'd like to do again is kind of hear the borough engineer's report on completeness. And then you can ask any questions, Mr. Anderson, or confirm that you're going to provide it, or whatever conversations you may wish to have. Mr. Ryan, if you'd take it over.
Thanks again, Mr. Chairman. So my November 11th, 2025 report was submitted to you and the other board members. I assume you have it. That's a rather lengthy report. This application for a major site plan with bulk variances requires two checklists to be reviewed. Checklist E, site plan, and checklist F for variances. So, starting with checklist E for site plan, I have 30 items noted for that. 14 are missing or incorrect information. 11 are waiver requests. 5 are waiver requests, and I suggested that the board hear some input from the applicant as to why they're requesting those waivers. So, I think it's pretty much speaks for itself. Do you want me to go through each and every one here?
So this is pretty extensive. Mr. Anderson, let's, let me ask. So this is more than I often see for incomplete, not provided. Do you think the engineer will have more on the next submission?
The engineer will have more, but there are also some issues that I'd like to flesh out just a little bit, just because I want to make sure that I not only give the engineer proper information, but possibly try to curtail some of the penumbra of this potentially, so.
Penumbra, got it, I got it. Remember that.
I'm a lawyer.
Let's divide this into buckets then. Let's go over the waivers requested and recommended. Right. So Bill, why don't you start with them? Waivers requested and recommended.
Okay,
And at the end of your discussion, I'll ask board members if they have any questions.
Okay, there's 11 of those, Mr. Chairman. So, first one is item 8. Name of the development has not been provided. They want a waiver for that. I don't see any reason not to grant that. Item 34, location of the property, on the property of existing water courses, bridges, culverts, etc. That, I see no reason not to grant that. This does not have any impact on this particular application. By the way, for the record, this is an application for an emergency generator at the existing office building at 115 Tabor Road. So you have a context of why these waivers are asked. So the next one is item 35, location within 200 feet of the property of existing water courses, bridges, culverts. Again, it's not relevant to this particular application. The next one is item 39, complete listing of all zoning requirements in accordance with the no, I'm sorry, that's an incomplete map. Item 40, location of parking and.
I'm sorry, can you back up to?
Yep.
I see. So we're gonna skip 38 because we're gonna come back and talk about that. Yep, very good. Number 40, you're right.
Number 40 is location of parking and loading spaces with dimensions waiver requested, and I'm recommending that one as well. Again, this does not have any impact on parking or traffic or any of those things. Next one is item 41, width of traffic aisles, same reasoning, recommending that waiver. Next one is item 42, direction of traffic flow, waiver requested and recommended. Item 47, location and construction details of existing and proposed utility systems, stormwater, water main, sewers, etc. None of that's applicable here. I'm recommending that waiver be granted. Item 48, solid waste storage facilities, again, not relevant. I'm recommending that waiver. Item 49, recycling, same reason. I'm recommending that waiver. Next one is item 55, lighting data for the existing and proposed lights. Waiver requested. I'm recommending that one as well, because there's no impact here with this particular application. The next one and last one of those is items 57A and B, final property contours and building floor plan. That's not relevant here either. I'm recommending that waiver. So those are the 11 waiver requests that I'm recommending be granted.
Okay, so let's open it up for board members to ask questions on these waivers. Any concerns or questions on the waivers requested and recommended? Okay, so we'll vote on that in a little bit, but no questions, so. Let's go over the waiver requests where there needs to be some conversation.
Okay, so that one, we start with, checklist item number 37, which is at item 12 in my report. So item 37 talks about all flood hazard areas, lakes, ponds, marshy ponds, et cetera, on the property. I'm asking to hear some reasoning why. I don't know enough about this site to know whether those things are relevant or not. So I would like that to be put on the record. Next one of those, next item on this category is item 48, freshwater wetlands. Again, I'm not sure if there's any impact here from either on-site or transition areas that may extend onto the property. So I'd like to hear some reasoning for that waiver request. The next one moves all the way down to my item 28, which is items 58B and C on the checklist, tree removal permit and EIS. It's likely that that's not relevant, but I wanted to hear why the applicant thinks they don't need to do an EIS. The next one is item 62, stormwater control plan. I'd like to hear the reasoning for that as well. Seems to be some increase in impervious coverage, and I'm wondering why they want that way. Next one, and the last one in this category is item 63, steep slopes. Even though my report says step slope map, it's a steep slope map. Again, I don't know the particular details of that area. I'd like to hear the reason. So that's those 5 waiver requests. I'd like to hear information.
And Mr. Anderson, are you prepared to speak to why these should be considered tonight?
I certainly can.
Let's do it one by one if we could.
Of course.
So let's start with item 37.
Of course. Based on my review of the property itself, there isn't any of those things that are in existence on the property. I did a FEMA search on the flood area based on the address, and there isn't one that attends that area. In fact, behind the property, between the building and the residential zone behind it, there's actually a detention pond. So there's the water source, if you will, is something that was constructed specifically for flood control. Because none of those things exist on this property, we asked for a waiver.
And this consideration would be for completeness only. So would
Yes.
your engineer be willing and able to testify on the record?
Absolutely.
The fact that you just, what your assertion just before?
Absolutely. He was the one that actually prepared the checklist, so he's prepared to answer all these waivers. He just was not available tonight.
Okay, so for completeness only. Bill, any questions?
No, again, I was gonna raise that point that Mr. Anderson is not an engineer, I don't believe.
I'm not, that's
So we're
correct.
it's just hearsay, but I like your approach. So.
Any questions from board members on this particular one? Again, this is for completeness only, so we'll get the facts during the hearing. All right, the maybe number 2, item 38.
And it's basically the same reasoning, but none of those things exist on the property, so there's no reason to have those permits or letters of exemption.
Again, I know I'm repeating myself, but for the record, your engineer would be willing and able to testify to that, to attest that during testimony.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
On maybe number 3, tree removal and EIS, environmental impact statement.
Okay. For the purposes of our application, the only thing that we are really seeking is, well, let me take a step back. And I recognize I'm not an engineer, so I'm not testifying as to anything. There is something in the space already where we are proposing putting this emergency generator. There is a modicum of an increase of impervious space as it relates to what's being installed. There's also a driveway leading up to it. Based on the idea of how large the lot is, even where our building, a building we're gonna occupy, it's a de minimis addition of impervious space. There are no trees being removed, so that tree removal permit's easy, that we don't have to worry about that. But the environmental impact statement of putting a de minimis amount of impervious space on the property also prompted the engineer to ask for the waiver for the environmental impact statement.
Mr. Chairman, I understand Mr. Anderson's point, but the EIS isn't just about impervious coverage. It's about noise, air quality, those kind of issues, and a host of other things that might be related to this kind of a project. So I would like to hear more direct testimony on that from the engineer, whoever that's gonna be.
It's John Ferranti, by the way, in case if that's familiar to you.
So would you, Bill, on this one, would you be comfortable with waiving it for completeness only and getting the engineer on the stand?
Yes.
All right, let's move on to 62, maybe number 4, stormwater control plan.
It's the same reasoning. We're doing so little to add impervious to the property that it wouldn't affect any stormwater considerations after the improvements are done. And again, it was the engineer who requested the waiver, so that was the reason.
And final, maybe number 5, item 63, steep slope map details.
Yeah, there's no steep slope on the property where we are, so, now, Mr. Ryan, I do have a question for you, and we can do it after we're done here, but I wanted to talk about the site as a whole versus the site that we're actually talking about.
You can do that through the chair.
Okay, that would be fine, thank you. Mr. Chairman, this is a corporate, it's a huge corporate site. There are multiple companies on it. JCP&L is going to occupy a portion of the most southern part of the building. A couple of floors in entirety and 1 floor only in part. There are a lot of issues on this letter, in this incompleteness letter, that imply that we should be looking to the entire site as the boundary, so to speak. As far as our section is concerned, just as an example, sorry to do this, it's right at the beginning, item number 2, page 5, number 18, prior approvals not listed. When I spoke to Mr. Ryden, his statement was that we had to take care of the site as a whole. My concern is that if we're doing basically an OPRA request for not only our building, but for the other buildings on the campus, and all those other approvals, that we're gonna have a mountain of information that isn't germane to what we're trying to accomplish. So I wanted to discuss that with the board, because I don't want to get into a situation where I'm bombarding the board and Mr. Ryden, and anyone else for that matter, Karen especially, as it relates to this application. So I was hoping that we could dial in the focus specifically to 115 Tabor as a max, and then deal with that as it goes. Because right now I have no knowledge of anything else going on the property. And I know I have to revise the application because the owner information is incorrect. We do have the owner approval, but it was submitted after the application was put in, just for time. But I'm sorry, go ahead.
Mr. Chairman, I don't believe there's anything in the report here that applies, we were looking at the entire property. The checklist is the checklist for the project. Whatever information may or may not be needed is what we have to look at the checklist for. The prior approvals may or may not be applicable here, we don't know that. Probably not, but there could have been some stipulation in there that there'd be no equipment in the front yard, we don't know, we'll see those. Now, if there was any approvals, maybe there were no approvals other than the original site. I don't know.
Yeah, and we put unknown in the application for that exact reason. So, I guess, as long as we have an understanding that I'm looking at 115 Tabor Road only, as it relates to anything that we're doing for the application, I'm okay with that. But if it includes all those other buildings and all those other companies and all those other potential approvals, I can't speak to that, so.
It covers lot 2.02, block 161, that's your application.
Okay, but again, and maybe this is where I'm hoping that we can only focus in on that one address, because there are multiple
You can
addresses.
when you present your case. I think that's germane to the completeness.
Well, it is germane if I've got to put in all the prior approvals.
Right,
That's
so
what
I
that's
think,
what the checklist says.
I think what, at the heart of the matter, the essence of the question is what's the definition of site as it pertains to our discussion right now?
Fair enough, yes.
And I can't answer off the top of my head whether that is defined in Morris Plains ordinance. I just don't know. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. My suggestion on this is that you reach out to Board Attorney Sullivan
Okay.
and get some help on answering this question, because it really is a legal question. I understand your argument, I understand your argument, aside, I understand your position. There may be a legal definition here that I just can't answer tonight. That said, it was on the boards, both planning and zoning, that approved the development on that side of 53, and there may be information in the prior approvals that is pertinent. It may be, right? And if it isn't presented to the board, I don't know how we would know that. So I don't know if that's a satisfactory answer or not, but I think that's what we're gonna get tonight, is, have some conversation with Mr. Sullivan, and I do think that, for the purposes of completeness, if you're informally requesting a waiver, I don't know that we're gonna get there tonight.
Well, it doesn't sound,
Particularly.
yeah, I don't know that I was actually asking for a waiver, I was asking just for a narrower definition. I was kind of hoping that Mr. Sullivan would be here, but if it turns out that that's not the case, then I'll talk to Mr. Sullivan, and we'll come to some agreement, resolution or not. And either I'm doing the whole lot, or I'm not. So I understand, I appreciate that, thank you.
And our board attorney will communicate with me and our board engineer, borough engineers.
Steep slope, I don't know if I answered that question, it's, there's no steep slope on the front.
You did.
Yeah, okay.
We can accept that on the same basis that we did the others, under the ones I asked for testimony.
All right.
So you wanna move to checklist F, Mr. Chairman? Or do you
Let
want
me,
to take action on the first?
Let me review, give me a moment. So on 1A, right, the area of the site, that, the site needs to be defined, to answer. Is
Yes,
that correct?
that's correct.
The site is the property. That's a standard principle in land use applications here. You come in, no matter what little piece of your property you're working on, the site is the property.
So
You can't just pick that out.
I'm not arguing, but I would, not having the borough's ordinances in front of me, sometimes that's, site with a capital S and it's defined.
Understood.
We're gonna correct 1B to the correct owner.
I will provide the information for 1C.
Okay.
1D requires Mr. Sullivan's input, potentially. And 1E I will also take care of. The application has to be amended to include that information.
C is, you're gonna provide that, you said?
Yes, I
That's
will
what I
provide.
heard you say, so provide that. All right, so number 3, item 14, that's gonna be corrected.
Yes, sir.
For 16, item 16 that I heard you say that, you know, consent, and that'll be,
And we have, yes, we have the executed, the proper executed pages for that, exactly.
item 19,
Same.
okay. 22. Item 22. On, check, item 6, item 22.
No one called 911 up here?
I don't think so.
No? Okay. We're good, we got a call that somebody called us, so.
These are very young.
They're downstairs.
I said, are they sometimes Monday nights and the other?
I'll check that too, but everybody's good here?
Good,
All right.
thank you.
I can certainly update the signature block, that's no problem.
Right away widths,
But again, this arguably goes back to the original question, but I will talk to Mr. Sullivan about it.
Or you can ask for a waiver on this. You can come back with your revised application and waiver request for those things.
Okay, thank you.
if a waiver were requested, board members have any questions on that one? So, you know, it's the right of way widths of adjoining roads, they're not being changed, you're not suggesting there's any changes.
That's correct.
Item 8, referring to item 33, location and widths of all other existing and proposed right-of-ways and easements.
This relates to this question from Mr. Sullivan.
Item 11, which refers to item 36, map showing the entire drainage.
Also Mr. Sullivan question.
Yes, or you could ask for a waiver on it as well.
Or I could ask for a waiver.
All right, so let's talk about this one, then, if you were gonna ask for a waiver. So this is, which I think we all know, we all live here, there's an enormous basin behind the property. Your work is nowhere near it.
That's right.
And your argument is that whatever effect on impervious is so minuscule that it would change it.
Correct.
Do board members have questions on that waiver?
But that would be pending.
Pending somebody asking for it.
Right, yeah, a waiver for completeness only.
Right. Because they'll be testing. Okay.
Excuse me, is that 38,
36.
36? Okay.
I think
Right.
you would support your argument if you had some numbers attached to it. You know, if it's de minimis, then what's the number so that we can agree it's de minimis.
Okay. I'll talk to the engineer.
All right. 14 on Mr. Ryan's report, item 39.
I will handle that.
All right. We'll comply. Number 18 on the letter, item 44, tentative building floor plans.
That,
And Mr. Chairman, item 45, which kind of goes hand in hand with that.
Okay, 44 and 45 together.
Yeah, I would suggest they request a waiver for those items.
and I was gonna say the same thing.
So you're requesting a waiver for building floor plans and elevations because the work you're proposing doesn't touch the building floor plans or elevations.
That's my understanding, Mr. Chairman, yes.
So for completeness only, that could be considered. Any questions from board members? All right. Letter item 26, 57D easements.
May I back up one?
Yeah,
Mr.
this
Chairman,
one.
number 23, item 54. Data for existing proposed signs not provided.
Oh, I missed that one. Yep.
Suggest you ask for a waiver on that one as well.
Are you building any signs? Proposing any signs?
Not of which I'm aware, no, You're Honor. Sorry.
Yeah, promoted. Requested, assuming, that, and again, that's completeness only, right? So we hear testimony during
Correct.
57D easements, it's item 26 on the letter.
But, That's back to the conversation with Mr. Sullivan.
58, soil disturbance permit.
You're gonna have to provide something on that, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah, I don't know the number off the top of my head, but is there a minimum soil disturbance that would require a
It's
permit?
200 cubic yards.
I'd be surprised if we had that much, but I'll
don't
clear that
know
with the
what it
engineer.
is.
Yeah, it doesn't matter, that's fine.
All right, I think we've covered everything in checklist E.
Yeah.
What I hear is that there's some will complies, some conversations with the board attorney, and then 16, waivers requested that the borough engineer either recommended in his report, or we talked about it today, and the board members had no questions. And then I heard that item 11, '18 and '19.
Mean number 11, 18.
Yeah, sorry. Letter number 11. Letter number 18, letter number 19. Letter number 23. You requested a waiver this evening, and board members had no questions. So we will cover all those in the meeting minutes carefully, based on the recordings and Karen's notes. Before we move on to checklist F, just because this is so big, are there any questions on the waivers requested and proposed that we've discussed for checklist E?
I just have a question for the EIS. Given that this is going to be a engine and a fuel tank installed, is that going to be covered as far as sound and containment and everything like that in another presentation? Or
Well, the
is that
engineer-
required as part of the EIS?
No, the engineer would provide testimony as to the operation of the generator itself, how often it has to fire up, and things like that.
But that wouldn't be involved
Decibel-
with the EIS?
No, what we're saying tonight is that what the checklist says is submit your EIS as part of your initial submission. And they're asking for completeness purposes only. You know, let this go to hearing without the EIS being submitted, but the engineer will provide testimony, and members of the board will have, and public will have questions, the opportunity to ask questions of that testimony.
Okay, so the information will be available when we...
Yes. Yeah, not that this matters for this particular hearing, but this is a system-wide upgrade that JCPL is doing. They're doing generators all over the state that all meet these various requirements. So this is gonna be one of many, where the testimony will be provided as to sound levels.
Is this just to supply the KCP&L facility itself?
I'm sorry?
Is this just to supply the KCP&L facility itself?
That's correct. Sorry for the rush.
Oh, good. Any other questions on waivers? There be a motion to grant the waivers for checklist E as discussed this evening?
So moved.
All right, Mr. Rizos, is the motion, Mr. Boz, a second. Karen, roll call, please.
Mr. Gaza?
Yes.
Mrs. Cortez?
Yes.
Mr. Peepin?
Yes.
Mr. McCabe?
Yes.
Mr. Schultz?
Yes.
Mr. Rizos?
Yes.
And Mr. Cianciano?
Yes.
So we've done waivers only on E. We're now gonna move to F. Checklist F.
Okay. So on checklist F, Mr. Chairman, in my letter, I noted 9 points, 3 of which are deficiencies in information, and 6 of which are waiver requests, which I'm asking for testimony. So, would you like me to reprieve what they are?
Please.
So the 3 deficiencies are, refer back to the site plan checklist, which there's a lot of duplication, as I say it every time we do these things. So the items in one on checklist, for checklist E, the names, the site information, that all has to be done again, not again, but that's part of, repeated the checklist there, so that's missing. Item 9, which refers back to the ownership disclosure, that needs to be provided, and that was covered already in the checklist E. And the third one is checklist item 19. Location, size, nature, purpose, and text of all existing right-of-way. That's the kind of information that Mr. Anderson is going to discuss with Mr. Sullivan, I believe.
Correct.
So those are the 3 deficiencies. The 6 waivers for checklist item 13, which is a copy of the zoning officer's decision. I don't understand why, is there not one?
We didn't apply for a zoning permit because we knew we needed variances and a use variance right out of the gate.
Okay, but you didn't say anything about it on the application.
I just requested a waiver, you're right, yeah.
Excuse me, it's not a permit, it's a zoning, he sends it to the board usually, so it's a recommendation from the zoning office, it's not a permit.
It's really not applicable here.
Right, so what I'm hearing is that, well, let me state what I think I hear. Often, people or companies apply for construction permit. The zoning officer issues a denial, and that is part of the record. In this instance, because the applicant knew variance is required, they didn't submit for a permit, so there's no opportunity for the zoning officer to submit a denial. So, that said, are there any questions on that waiver? Makes sense why there isn't one? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go to,
The next one is item 15 regarding the previous applications, and we discussed that under the site plan checklist. The next one is checklist item number 25, the flood hazard areas. I'll just go through these together. Item 26, wetlands, item 29, steep slopes, and delineation, item 30, delineation of riparian zone, all of which were discussed under the checklist D.
and under checklist D, after conversation, we said that the waiver would be granted for completeness only, with the
Correct.
expectation that testimony is heard during.
Correct.
Correct.
Any questions from board members on the waivers requested for checklist F? Any motion to grant the waivers requested for checklist F? All right, Mr. Scanciata made the motion, is there a second?
Second.
Mr. McCabe, second. Karen, roll call, please.
Okay, so it's Mr. Baza,
Yes.
Mrs. Cortez,
Yes.
Mr. Uppen,
Yes.
Mr. McCabe,
Yes.
Mr. Schultz,
Yes.
Mr. Razos,
Yes.
and Mr. Sianciata.
Yes.
So, we also need a motion for completeness. We've covered the waivers, right? So the applicant is walking away with some waivers under its belt. Is there a motion on completeness of the application?
Motion to be made.
All right, Mr. McCabe makes a motion to deem incomplete. Is there a second?
Second.
Saji, Mr. Epen, I heard that. Karen, roll call, please.
Okay, Mr. Baza,
Yes.
Mrs. Cortez,
Yes.
Mr. Uppen,
Yes.
Mr. McCabe,
Yes.
Mr. Schultz.
Yes.
Mr. Razos. and
Yes.
Mr. Sianciata.
Yes.
All right, so the application's been deemed incomplete. There's been progress made on the waivers requested. There's a conversation to be had with the board's attorney. And, again, December is a short month given the holidays, so additional information is required by December 5th. So, clock's ticking a little faster than normally, but, again, we've been here for, completeness, and, if you're ready.
Mr. Chairman, I can can tell you, we're not gonna be ready for December fifth. So there are little other tweaks that need to be made for the purpose of the application that don't affect the waivers that were granted tonight, has nothing to do with that. This just needs some cleanup, based on the bureaucracy structure of JCP&L, things have been tweaked slightly. But nothing that can't be overcome.
All right, so we will, perhaps see you in January with testimony of
Lord,
bureaucracy.
yes. I appreciate that, Mr. Chairman, and thank you to the board, and thank you, Mr. Ryan. And thank you, Karen and Al.
You make sure you leave your card before you go.
Will do.
All right, on to correspondence and bills, do we have any?
Yes, we do.
Take it away,
We
please.
have purchase order number 202-52005 to Stickle Koenig and Sullivan, 571 Compton Avenue, Cedar Grove, in the amount of $437.50. Purchase order number 202-51804 to Anderson and Densler, 383 Rachel Avenue, East Hanover, New Jersey, 07936, in the amount of $241.75. And purchase order number 202-51288 to Anderson and Densler, 383 Rachel Avenue, East Hanover, New Jersey, 07936, in the amount of $193.40. And that's it.
And does your reading constitute a motion to approve for payments?
It does.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Epen seconded, voice vote, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, Mr. Ryan.
Nays, abstentions? All right, the bills are approved. Any new business? All right, old business, I want to mention that the revised application process, which all members supported at a previous meeting, continues its journey. The planning board is reviewing it, and Councilman Houston is shepherding whatever ordinance changes may have to happen to make it happen. So we're done for now, and it continues to move, and we'll see where the governing body and planning board take that. Any other old business?
Is there a target?
The target was the end of this year.
Right.
I don't know that they'll hit it, but it's pretty close. Any other old business? Motion adjourned?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
8:34. Thank you all.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Thanks.
Happy Thanksgiving.